All right. Obviously we stayed an extra night there, so don't have any updates yet. We just got back, just landed in terms of injuries or have a chance to analyze the game with the staff yet, from that regard. But I'll stand by what I said last night. Felt like we need to execute some of those critical downs better as a team. All three phases had opportunities to impact that game, and we came up just a little bit short there at the end. I felt that from our guys last night in the locker room. You could tell they were disappointed, and I know we'll be committed to getting back on the right track here this week. So go ahead and open it up from there.
Adam?
Ben, I wanted to start with the long touchdown to Luther. After the game, he told us that he wasn't supposed to even get the ball on that play. He was running a clear route. What did you see when you watched it on film with Caleb? And like, what did you, obviously the result you like, but just the way he went through his progressions to get to Luther on that.
Yeah, must not have installed that play very well then, if he felt that way. He was certainly part of the read. He was he was probably less likely to get the ball.
Okay.
But yet Caleb felt like he could see it was more of a layered concept there. We had Colston low, we had DJ in the middle, and then Luther was high, and they just dropped him a little bit, and he got a step on him, and so it was good. It was great for Caleb to see that. I thought the protection was outstanding. That was it was a drop back pass where you're holding it for a good 7-step timing there from the gun, and so you needed to make sure you had plenty of time, and I thought those guys did it up front, and that's really the key to the play, in my opinion, to give Caleb enough time to get that ball out. Outstanding throw, outstanding catch.
Zach?
Hey, Coach. On the touchdown to Colston Loveland, what impressed you about Caleb being able to keep that alive on the free play and then the throw that he made?
Yeah, no, I thought it was just really well executed by the entire offense. We walked through those plays, the early plays in the game that morning for a night game like that, and so we kind of talked it through that we would work a hard cadence on that particular play, and if they jumped, then we wanted to take a shot, and so it was really well done. It was really well done, and Colston kind of broke off his route when he felt Caleb extend the play a little bit. The guys up front, they kind of felt the D line go slack a little bit, which can be the tendency at times on free plays. And so Caleb was able to find a little bit of extra time and threw a great ball down the field. I don't. Once again, he has these throws every week that you're just like, hey, I don't know how many quarterbacks in the NFL can really do that on a regular basis.
Pat?
Hey Ben, you gave up 6 touchdowns yesterday. What do you need your defense to improve on between now and the start of the postseason?
Yeah, well, I mean, it always comes back to fundamentals, and so it's gap integrity in terms of the run defense. We're playing a really good offense right now. Okay, so that's I do think that has to be stated because they're averaging about 35 points over the last 5 weeks. All right, so they're hot. Um, I didn't feel like our offense did our part in the first half. We did not possess the ball. We had a couple three and outs. And you look at our defense, and they got a pick six, they got a couple punts, and if we bow up in the red zone, I think we feel better about the performance, and that's um, not to take anything away from San Fran. They did a great job, but there are certainly things fundamentally that we can improve on, and we're going to look to address here this week.
You talked about red zone defense. You were really good against the Packers in the red zone. What typically carries over from week to week in terms of what you need to do to be good down there?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a little bit of a loaded question because I don't want to give away philosophy how I see it, but uh, each week's a little bit different. Every offense has a different red zone story to them, and so they simply executed better than we did with their plan.
Courtney?
Hey Ben, looking back at the first half, I think you guys ran the ball 5 times. Like as you watched the game back, did that stick out to you as an anomaly, something that you weren't expecting, were expecting? I know you were in a shootout, but was that, I guess, what do you think about that as you look back at it?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at the exact numbers. My guess is we probably had less than 20 plays in the first half. And a handful of those would have been second and longs and third downs. And so if you take those out, we're probably about 50-50 run to pass, which is probably what we typically average. So that's just off the top of my head, though.
And then as far as Detroit and game planning for week 18, I don't know if Dan's talked about if starters or not, what he's doing, but how do you view just like what's still ahead of you, the 2 or the 3 seed, and how decisions that you'll make, like how do you weigh the importance of seeding in this game?
Yeah, we're playing to win this week.
Jason?
Ben, the second to last play that you guys had yesterday with the pitch from Loveland to Swift, just watching it looked like it was it looked precise. And I was thinking back to the offseason when you raised issues about the sloppiness and in the preseason saying these guys aren't ready yet to run the full playbook that I have. It seems like you guys have come a long, long way in that area.
I would agree with that. I would 100% agree with that. We've taken the training wheels off. These guys are doing a phenomenal job coming into the building each week and taking a plan and bringing it to life. I can't say enough good things about whether they're rookies, undrafted, veteran players. It doesn't matter who it is on offense right now, but they've really bought into how we go about our business. I agree with you. The precision on a play like that is really the starting point, and it's been something that we've done all year long, and yet just haven't felt good enough to call it in a game. And then when you see it this week in practice, it gives you confidence. And so, obviously, I'm not happy with the result. Okay, would have loved to have scored a touchdown. Would have loved to get it out of bounds. And yet. I think the guys did a pretty good job with the execution of the play.
For you to have the trust level to call that in that moment, I mean, they must really have changed the way you can call a game now if you are confident enough that they can run something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. I've got immense amounts of trust for everybody on the offense right now. I think, like I said, it's just every week you just see them go about their business and. Um, I'm not going to call play that I don't fully believe in that we're not going to execute at the highest level. And so we'll always, if we go down, we're going to go down swinging like that.
Kevin?
Hey Ben, I know you said last night that you got that last play in a little later than you wanted to. Knowing that, acknowledging that, as you went back and watched it, what are kind of some of the other options to that that could have helped make it a better result?
Um, Shoot, yeah, you got me stumped on that one. Yeah, I mean, we really needed to line up in the right formation and get the execution of it down right to have a chance, in my opinion.
Earlier in the fourth quarter, Caleb hit Colston on the kind of an out and up on the left sideline for a big play. Just obviously that those two have really connected well throughout the last couple months. That play specifically, what was notable to you about it?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got a lot of time on task now at this point. They spent a lot of time after practice perfecting their craft, just the two of them, and I think it's really starting to pay off for us. Really accurate ball there by Caleb. He had to put that right on the money. I thought the linebacker did a nice job rallying and making it a contested play. And yet Colston's length really showed up, and you put that ball out in front, he runs right through it. He's like a big wide out in a lot of ways, and then you see him blocking, and it's like, oh, he's a six lineman sometimes as well. So he's doing a phenomenal job for us, and he's just going to continue to get better and better.
Herb?
Coach, I want to go back to the field goal drive. I know that the run game wasn't prolific, but it was efficient. When you guys got down to the 10, and hindsight being what it is, I know you had the middle screen set up. What'd you like more about the passes there as opposed to going
Yeah,
with the run?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm not very that out of that whole game, that field goal drive. Once we got in the I wasn't very happy with how I called that. 100% right.
Thank you.
Nick?
Ben, going back to that final play, how realistic of an option is Swift in the flat there? I know Caleb's looking down the middle of the field, but how realistic is it to expect him to see that type of play?
Yeah, I mean, with everything that was going on, I don't see that as a potential option. I think there was a little bit more chaos than what you would like in a situation like that. And so, I think Caleb did what he could to make chicken salad out of it.
Last one, Pat.
Ben, how's Roma Dunze coming along, and is there a chance that you guys see him on Sunday?
Yeah, he's right on track with where we have him slotted, and so we'll kind of go through the course of the week here and see what his availability is in terms of practice.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.